Camp Pitcher, Virginia. 19th of January 1863. Dear Mother, I wrote to you yesterday, but today the mail came in and it was a letter for me from my dear mother, and I now hasten to reply to it, although I am afraid I cannot find news enough to half fill a sheet. We have been under marching orders for some days, but they have been countermanded from one day to another, so that I will soon begin to think we are not going at all. I thought perhaps the reason we did not go yesterday was because it was Sunday, but the orders today are countermanded again. It cannot be a move of any great account, or we would not be kept in this way. There is none of the other divisions moving either. This is a very pretty day, but is rather cold, but we could not expect very warm weather this time of year. Joe Green got a letter from you today, and so did Uncle John. I tell you, when I see a letter in the mail with your writing on, I feel pleased, for then I think there will surely be one for me, but I am very often disappointed. It is quite lonesome here without Nancy. I could, when she was here, go down to her house and stay and talk all day and pass away the time very pleasant, for she was such good company. But I still visit Doc about as often as ever. He is very good to me. I think a great deal of him. He is lost now since Nan has gone, though. He does his own baking and cooking. He is a first-rate baker. They draw flour most always. I was down day before yesterday and took dinner with him. He had dumplings and beans. They went not slow, I tell you. I had a very good supper last night. Potatoes and onion soup comprised the whole of it. I tell you, it was fit for anyone to eat. I would never ask for anything better. There was a fellow drummed out of the service yesterday that belonged to the 63rd Regiment, private in our brigade. He had been court-martialed for deserting, and the sentence was that he was to have the letter D for deserter branded to his hip and have his head shaved and be drummed out with the tune of the Rogues' March before the whole brigade. I tell you, it made him jump when the hot iron was put to his bare skin, but he took it pretty cool though after all. Well, he is rid of soldiering anyhow, if he did get rid of it very dishonorably. I hear some talk of the paymaster coming soon. He can't come any too soon for me. If we are ever fortunate enough to get our pay this time, I think we need never look for any more, for they have such bad work getting this that the next, I fear, will come out slim. I sent 3 letters with Nancy, if I remember right. I suppose she is at home by this time, and you have got what news was in them, if there was any at all in them, which I don't suppose there was. You say you would like to know what I think about Clara's marriage. I suppose you do know by this time what I wrote, but I was so confused when I wrote that I don't know what I did say. Perhaps I was a little hasty. Scott may be a very good fellow and prove a kind husband, but Clary getting married so young, and me never knowing that he was going with her until I heard they were to be married, why, it took me completely by storm. I will say that I never knew any harm of Scott, though I don't know whether he is very industrious or not. I know he is a good sawyer, and that is all I know about him. I would have thought Pap would have made a great fuss about the serenade, but it seems he took it all in good fun. Little Tommy helped it along finely with his whistle. Well, I will have to quit this on account of having nothing more to write. I read Uncle John's letter as I took it down to him, and I waited until he read it, and then I made him let me read it. Well, I have done pretty well on this sheet to have nothing to write. Give my love to all. That envelope you sent me will have a trip back right away. Goodbye, dear Mother, and write as soon and as often as possible. From your loving and affectionate son, Tilton Reynolds.